I wanted a life experience. I wanted to put myself out of my comfort zone. I got it.
This is not, this is not a safe place to be.
Go into this process with an injury, overcome that injury.
Unbelievable, probably one of the best things I've ever done.
The scale of it just became much more apparent.
What are we going to do? What's our next move?
It suddenly started to feel like a bit more of a challenge than I'd initially thought it would be.
Well, my name is Adrian Manister. I am a director of a recruitment company and I'm 50. I just recently turned 50. Feeling old, thank you for having to tell everybody that. I just heard a chat over a coffee and I stuck my oar in and went, I'll come, and that was it.
I'm Tom, I'm in my mid-40s, 2 kids, live in St Albans, and I work in organisational development. So how did this come about? Well, I was in a conversation after, I think, going to the pub, and was accosted by Alex. And he said, hey, I've just signed up for this thing, how about it? And I said, what is it? He said, well, we're going to go climb a mountain. And I said, what the hell are you talking about? I signed up for it, effectively not knowing what the hell it was or how I was going to do it.
Sounds amazing. Is it dangerous? And he said, I'll tell you what, why don't you speak to Rob? We'll go to the pub and he'll tell you all about it. So I'm Jim Hatcher, 44 years old. I'm a medical doctor in infectious diseases. I live in St Albans, got 2 children, aged 12 and 9.
Yes, I have, yeah. I've done training before, but the difference with this training was more joint related, where, you know, I have done quite a few events in the past, which were more endurance and things like that, of course, so it's more about stamina and things like that, of course, which are good, but I can run, I can cycle, I can swim, I can do these things, and, you know, I'm fairly healthy, but I didn't necessarily have the hip movement or the joints, kind of that you think.
A couple of years ago I did an Ironman, which was like a massive life-changing excursion. But this was a whole new experience. So I know that I came into it with some aerobic ability, so I know I could last the duration of however many days climbing it was, but didn't have the strength. The coaching was something I'd never done in that way before, but having a tailored approach where it could be adjusted to my body type and experience, that was really useful.
I'm Dougal, I'm 41 and I'm a risk manager. So yeah, everyday life, work in London, get up early, got a dog, have to walk him twice a day, but generally ferry the kids around, and when I'm not doing that, quite enjoy going out, watching live sport.
So yeah, I'm Alex, I am 44 years old and I'm a management consultant. When Rob first mentioned it, I was intrigued. I've got a bit of a sort of chronic fear of heights, vertigo, so in my mind's eye that might be a problem. Yeah, well, exactly that. Challenge, stories, go out of your comfort zone a little bit. The humdrum of daily life. You can sometimes feel you need to do something a little bit crazy.
Alex,
Yeah, you're doing it.
how are you feeling about test number 3?
I'm not entirely sure, to be honest. This is about my second time in a row, so we'll see how it goes.
Go.
Never really used a gym ever, so not my kind of thing. I play football.
Okay, so it is test week 3. Test week 2 was 1,000 box step-ups.
Conditions of anyone that's ever played the game.
Why do I look so much more red than you?
Because you are.
I managed 700, so couldn't walk for about a week afterwards. So I'm hoping test week 3 is going to go a little bit better. So this involves some rowing, some burpees and kettlebell swings, which I've never done before. So we'll see how they go. Ben, test 3. No, not for me.
Yeah, I found the exercises really helpful, especially on the knees, but yeah, to be given the guidance to know what to do, and particularly to realise that things that come across as being very simple actually when you repeat them over a set period of time actually become really beneficial.
So this is the latest stage of training. Hiking carrying a somewhat large child. I think that's fully in line with Ben's exercises. You're going to say hello, Toby?
So I've headed out into the Chiltern Way this morning for a training walk. Thought I'd see what a long walk with the dog would be like. I'll do about 10 miles.
Without the training, I don't think I would have been ready. You can't rely on your own, or doing it off your own back, and just having that expertise there forced me to go to the gym and to practice and to train that I would never have done otherwise. So the first trip to Wales is my first time in Wales. Getting drunk in Cardiff doesn't count, but it was my first time up the pointy stuff, and boy did Rob have a surprise for us.
Yeah, so I had once done the horseshoe before with a group of mates wearing trainers on a hot day, and this occasion I realised was completely different.
How are we doing, boys? All good? So we're going up. This one here, guys.
So I had these trousers that were supposedly waterproof, but within a few minutes they got completely soaked.
The biggest shock was the crib croc initially, because I didn't know where we were. And then it was like, oh, right, okay. Just gonna go along there, that's fine.
The wind, the rain, the exposure, I didn't realise that was even possible to kind of be out in those conditions. So it was great to be guided across that.
And it's just like this massive drop behind you and you're like, oh God. But you just get on and do it.
Right, Diggle. Immense fun. Guys.
I'm sweating to not just pocket. This is a video.
I'm not good with heights, and that was a real challenge for me. I had to, my heart was in my mouth, and I had to really kind of look deep inside myself and work out whether I really wanted to go across this. I forced myself to do that, and I had the other guys there encouraging me along the way. If it was me on my own, there's no chance in hell that I would have done that.
Keep going, guys. There you go. Second summit of the day.
But no, it was a great experience. The guys were amazing that were with everybody on the whole event. Really, at the end of the day, have made it more enjoyable. So you just laugh things off: the weather, the wind, the rain, the sun.
Did it. Did it. Thank you, Rob. Did it, done it. Easy peasy. We did all of that.
We got out of the campsite in the morning, we walked down, and then you just see this sheer rock face, quite frankly, which you have to scramble up.
And that's what we're going up. Nice.
So the second trip was Trefan, and the first approach was the north face. So it was incredibly steep, huge, great big rocks, massive long scramble, hours and hours and hours of just climbing and climbing and climbing.
Yeah.
Here comes Indiana Jones.
There we go. Making it look easy. What are you doing, guys? Yeah. We're now going to go up that.
Once we finished there, we did the glitters, and something was very different. The weather changes like that on you.
Rob picked another fantastic day to do it, sideways rain.
There he is. Yeah. And there's the other. It's not too windy, is it?
Right.
How you found that? This is alright. It's alright. This is alright. This is alright.
But it was a great adventure, and actually having Aid with me on that journey, he's a great man for lifting your spirits.
Yeah. Here we go. Looking forward to today.
Yeah, very much so.
Yeah.
Bit of sunshine.
Bit of sunshine, apart from in the bit where we're going today. Never mind. And there's our trailer bed.
Yeah, so the first Wales trip, that was quite an emotional day for me. So I mean, I've done a fair bit of hiking in the mountains in the past, but I've never done anything remotely climbing, scrambling, any of that.
Yeah, that's alright, wasn't it?
Definitely opened my eyes, and I think when kind of Rob was showing us around, set off up a kind of almost sheer rock face. It looked like. I was like, we're not going up that, are we? No, surely not. Definitely an eye on it. This wasn't going to be an easy journey, but yeah, in retrospect, kind of got through it.
Easy peasy. Easy peasy.
Yeah, that was good actually. It kind of snuck up upon me. I didn't even realise we were that close, and suddenly, there's the summit. It was quite interesting. I think I was still massively on the kind of massive wave of relief from having got off Crib Goch. So the rest of the horseshoe after that was nice plain sailing.
Look at that. So Crib Goch, all the way up Snowdon, and then these funky little mountains.
The two-man mountains.
And then these dudes.
Bloody freezing.
So next up was the 3000s. That in itself is an insane excursion. So it's the 15 peaks that are more than 1,000 meters.
In under 24 hours. It's going to rain. It always does.
I'd come back from a holiday in Canada, just leading up to it, but we got caught up in a load of air traffic control strikes or something like that. Had to go straight into work at kind of the next day, completely jet lagged. And then 48 hours later, I was driving down to Wales to take part in the 3000s. Tried to get to sleep for a couple of hours, didn't, and then up at 3 AM for a 24-hour hike around the Welsh 3000s.
We got all of our equipment ready and sorted. We packed our bags and we were kind of ready to go.
The dream team.
Go.
Coming into Snowdon, it was dark, and then we went into Crib Goch, which was again dark, but the sun was starting to come up.
Nice. Look at that.
That's the start line.
Let's start, and it begins.
Then probably just the biggest challenge was, as I was just getting really, really tired, kind of we were walking around in the night, sort of stumbling upon bits of exposure that you weren't expecting.
Seeing the clouds break for the first time in Wales. I'd never seen the sky.
There he is. So it's
It's the fun bit, Rob.
Huh?
It's the fun bit.
It's all fun.
I had a bit more confidence, knew I could handle the, kind of knew what I was doing.
How are we going?
We're going.
First day we're going to meet you guys.
See how much quicker I'm moving.
Nice, these.
I positively skipped across it that second time.
Look at that, Tom. You're just kind of strolling the park now, mate.
The weather was then starting to break, and you got little patches of visibility, and that was amazing.
It's like you're waiting for a bus. It's number 10 here, yeah? No.
How are we doing, Jim?
Yeah, great. How are you?
Chilling.
Yeah. I like this. I think it's great. It's, especially when it's clearing. Look at all of this. It's amazing.
complete, boys.
5 minute turnaround, guys. Good stuff. A little bit behind target, but you know, hopefully we'll make it up next one.
Feeling strong?
Huh? Yeah, not bad. It was beautiful up there. It was beautiful.
No, this is 8 hours, this next stage.
Okay.
So halfway through the stage is going to be lunchtime.
Okay.
So instead of just sitting here for half an hour...
We've been up since 2, so I feel like it's lunchtime already.
So instead of sitting here for like half an hour,
You know.
5 minutes, eating, we'll head up as quick as we can.
Take food with us, you reckon?
Yeah. I had not heard of the Welsh 3000 before. A brand new thing to look up and kind of find out about. And the idea of doing them in 24 hours seemed like a huge challenge. So I wasn't able to do it with the rest of the group, so I actually did it a couple of weeks earlier. And if anything, that spurred me on a bit, because I thought I can't do this and not complete it, and then they all come along and destroy it, if you like.
Rob says don't dilly-dally. Doesn't like to stop.
I actually did the 3000s in reverse, so what that meant is that I finished on top of Snowdon, which was brilliant. It's somewhere I knew. It's the highest mountain in Wales.
Knees are feeling a bit achy. And I lost a bit of feeling in my middle toe on my left foot. But the weather's okay. And the sun's risen. That's what we're going to go up next. Try fun.
So stage 2, I was full of energy. I felt really good, but I knew this was the long one. So it was really hot as well. So we just had to get our heads down and just march up this whacking great big hill.
And this hill just went on forever. But it went on, and I was like, oh.
Time is always against you, and at the end you've always got that thought process, you've got to get to the end. But getting to the end feels so far away.
We had a bite to eat at the top and carried on. And midway through stage 2, it started to really hurt. So having to walk up rocks that were moving and slipping underneath you was a real challenge.
Stage 2 was fine. I mean, I think you know, I've done enough training and I try to follow it pretty diligently, and you know, kind of got into a pretty good routine of it.
A little bit, and then you get to the Glidders, which we were really lucky because it was a beautiful view up at the Glidders. The weather was great.
Welcome to stage 2. If you look over here, we have Trifan. Trifan! Easy peasy.
Knees are sore now. Let's keep going. 2 more mountains to go.
What's hurting the most right now?
Everything. Everything. We've still got one more to go, so I'm going to say nothing for now.
Is it harder than you expected?
No. I thought it was going to be hard. I think the next one's going to be even harder, but we're going to do it. It's easy. Just get on and do it, keep smiling, get it over and done with. That's what we do.
How you feeling?
How we doing, mate?
Well, us old men have knees. Bad knees.
How we doing?
Mine, for example, are made of the pastry that you get around the Cornish pasty. And Jim's here, his are made out of pink wafers that you get in those biscuit selections.
Speedy down there, mate. Knees are feeling it. Got a bit wiggly.
Come on, we can go uphill for a bit now.
Have you been up to Japan before?
No.
How was Adam and Eve?
They look very nice.
Did you jump between them?
I absolutely did not know.
Rain started coming. It was getting a little bit demoralising because then you knew that you had to have stage 3.
Let's do it. Let's grip on my back. Ah, bloody! Thought we were going to get away with it.
No.
No. Always comes and rains on you.
I was just done for. So the rain, the combination of the rain, the dark, just kind of kitted up in the hoods all over, kind of slight bit you can see out your eyes, your head torch on.
So end of stage 2, what's happened?
Well, unfortunately on the last bit I picked up a bit of an injury, and I've just said goodbye to the guys on the final stage of the 3000s, and I feel gutted. I'm gutted to kind of be out of it for this last bit, because this is like the final training mission before the big event. Yeah, I feel quite sad about that actually, but I wish them the best.
Having a team member then drop out, does make you think, wow, this is difficult. There's less of us, there's less amount of us motivating each other. Are we going to make it? And that plays with your head all the way through stage 3.
Welsh 3000's done. Oh, it's exhausting. I need to sleep. I need to rest my legs. I don't know how long it took. Can't work out. But anyway, done it.
It's that whole one foot in front of the other. Your legs just keep doing that. My head torch was running out. It was getting dark, and I just thought, okay, well, if I lose visibility, how am I going to do this? I'm going to have to stand next to somebody else.
My mind was done, and it was just keep going, find a way out of it.
Good job, guys.
It was the biggest physical challenge I think I've ever done, and getting to the end of it was just such a, I don't know, you just kind of got really proud of yourself.
If I had to sum that up in a word, both brutal and awesome, right? Yeah, definitely.
Gets you ready for the Alps, but by God, that was difficult.
I didn't know when I engaged on this trip that I'd be walking up so many hills. Chamonix is beautiful, but when you realise where Chamonix is situated, right in the heart of it all, like that, and there's these just huge mountains, and you realise the size of it.
So arriving back in Chamonix was, for me, a really emotional experience. It's somewhere I lived briefly for 6 months or so, 20-something years ago. We always used to look at Mont Blanc at the end of the valley, and it was good to see the old girl again.
One up there.
Look at that. The white one.
The one that's domey up there.
Take a picture for the guys.
Realising just how high it was compared to all the others around.
Been to skiing Alps quite a few times, and you never think, like, you just don't even think that that's a possibility to get up that high.
Over there. Okay. It's like a good day to climb it, you think?
Yeah, well, let's do it now then, right?
Guys,
Cheers, guys.
Cheers, guys.
for the next few days, right?
To all of us. Good luck.
Thanks, Rob, for organising.
So then we had to get the equipment fitted. I'd never even seen crampons before, and never had experience of being roped up. And as soon as you get that ice axe in your hand, it starts to feel a bit real.
Is that too tight? It's a base layer, right?
Yeah, I think that's good for a base layer.
Aaron, wait 1 second. This is more comfy. This one's more comfy, though.
Yeah, it looks more comfy.
And it has an awesome truck on it.
It's got a snow plough on it.
Yeah, when we first met with Tom, you know, he's sitting down with us all, comes in, looks like a mountain man.
Hey, it's Tom. This is Tom. Hi. Dougal. Jim. Dougal, Jim. Nice to meet you.
So next up was the briefing, which was hilarious because it was in the background of the hotel with these dancers practicing for their routine for later on that night.
Have they done this before?
It cuts off now.
I've been asking myself, can I actually do this? Is my vertigo going to stop me? What's this going to involve? How sketchy is it? How dangerous is it going to be? Is this something I can do? And you've sat there with the guides talking you through the exact plans and you're going, oh, this is definitely happening now.
Saturday the weather isn't very good, so we're going to do 2 days of training and acclimatization more locally here. But tomorrow morning we're going to drive through to Italy, take the Skyway lift up, which takes us straight to 3,400 meters. Give me a chance to come over a couple more forecasts. But the good thing is that the problem was before, actually mostly every guiding agency in the valley as of a week ago stopped going because it was just too hot and there was too much risk of rockfall. Now actually it's become a lot cooler and snowier, which is good. So Mont Blanc, we'll do it. Plan A is to do over 3 days, which is my favorite way to do it. So we go day 1, hike up to the Tête Rousse. It's not too big a day, but it's like a 3-hour hike up there. Summit day is the next day, and that is the big day. It's 1,600 meters, so we'll start at probably 4 in the morning from the Tête Rousse. Then we'll go to the summit, fingers crossed, and come and descend to the Goûter. And from the summit to the Goûter, it's 1,000 meters of descending. Spend the night at the Goûter, descend back down from the Goûter to the Tête Rousse, which is between the Goûter and the Tête Rousse is the rock section and the Grand Couloir.
It's a bit of a shame though that the weather's closed in a bit and it's thrown the whole trip into jeopardy. Knowing that we might not be able to go up Mont Blanc to summit properly as we were planning. It's a bit of a risk.
Yeah, no, but then it comes off at the end.
Look at him pretending.
Oh, yeah. Pretend I can
he
read. Actually, that's what we're going to go to do. Don't worry, guys. We're just going to take this with us. How to pull out the glacier. That way. Tomorrow's weather's looking pretty funky, so I thought rather than
a good thing?
No.
Funky's a bad thing.
Funky's kind of a bad thing. And
not funky disco.
It's a good thing. So we thought we'd just go up here because we stay at a high hut. Rather than going to Gran Paradiso and like potentially we don't get up to like top of the mountain or we don't get too high and we don't get too acclimatized. Yeah. Okay, we get a bit of time on the legs, but we don't get too acclimatized. We go up here, we get a lift right up to 3,300 or whatever it is, and just walk around, basically on Crafast Safari.
We packed up the cars and we went through the Mont Blanc tunnel.
It was interesting, we went to France to go climbing and did all our climbing in Italy.
Busy getting the main concern is like Wednesday there's a lot of snow, right? Like saying like 20 to 30 up high. So the lot of snow is awkward and up high, and then there's a lot of strong winds, so that can create a little bit of wind slab in places. But the big main hazard is the Grand Couloir. Yeah. And so it's been super dry, and we're getting lots of snow in it. Yeah. But it's at that altitude where it's going to be snow and rain level. Right. You know, if it was just snow and the snow came really low down, it's actually, you can work with that quite safely in a sense. Yeah. But
and yeah, going straight under Mont Blanc and just thinking about the amount of rock above you and that we were hoping to be still on top of that was kind of mind-blowing.
Think of that, was you?
More trouble.
It's okay. It's not bad.
Bit cloudy.
You know.
Bit clear.
I've walked around Valenian Park and it's on a good day and it's pretty special. So it's got
He's
a lot
not
to,
afraid of clouds.
It's got a lot to, you know, step up to.
In my tourist hat.
Okay, mate.
Yeah, I'm good, how are you?
I'm good. Just standing there.
Going up there. Just thinking, crampons, helmet, ice axe. What's the other one?
Harness.
Harness. Got all of them.
And the quickest way to get to the top was the cable car. So that was a quick route right to the top, which took us to the Torino Refuge.
What a view, huh?
A little bit cloudy.
Yeah, it becomes real when you start putting all that gear on and you put your harness on, you put your backpack on, you suddenly realise this is all the stuff that I'm going to go and tackle a mountain with. And that reality sets in and it gets your heart going.
think about the worst case scenario. So like when we're walking on glaciers, worst case scenario is somebody falls into a hole. If you're the person that falls into a hole, the reality is that you're probably going to go straight down the walls a little bit and you're going to end up in a wee cold hole. and you're probably going to have cold fingertips, and within 2 seconds your fingers will go numb. Just always have gloves on.
That's interesting. How often does that happen?
Not often. Not often. How often you have a car crash? But you always wear your seatbelt.
Depends. When I was young, quite often.
We left the Torino hut and the guides basically gave us our first briefing around how to put on crampons, how to wear harnesses.
So the buckle always goes to the outside of your foot. It's going to feel like it's too long.
And getting roped up and putting our crampons on to go out on the first excursion.
You're just traipsing off into what is a blanket of snow and whiteness.
First 2 steps.
To get out and go and kind of on the glaciers was unbelievable. Unbelievable. Probably one of the best things I've ever done. It was tremendous.
Good.
Who are you?
What? Warm
We're
yet?
doing well. We're getting slightly warm. We're getting slightly warm now. It's good. This feels like it's on a alien planet. It's amazing. I realise quite how much of a novice I am in walking on crevasses. So there you go.
And you're starting to understand the elements and the importance of being roped up to people.
Not being able to see what was around you kind of made it feel less daunting. But I guess the overwhelming feeling was that how do these guides know where they're going? But they go there all the time, so felt safe in their hands.
Just been over a massive crevasse. Really dangerous. Nearly lost Adrian at one point. It's Tom, number 4. I'm Dougal, number 3. Alex, number 2. Adrian, number 1. How are you doing, Tom? You good? Yeah, good, man.
We're going up to some areas to start practicing some scrambling as well. So we walked for a few hours. As always, it's uphill.
When we got to the entree, this was our chance to practice scrambling with ropes.
We came back, the view started to clear so you could see in the distance. You heard these rock falls that were around you, which was quite disheartening, not disheartening, but quite scary for one or another word, because I have no concept of this huge sound and whether these rock falls are going to come near me.
It just felt like another world. It felt like you're walking in, I don't know, the set of one of the Star Wars movies or some sci-fi, they're just some different world, ice world, and it was just how beautiful it was, how stunning it was, and the fact that we were able to very quickly start walking around these crevasses, kind of snaking around some pretty interesting routes. Just amazing, just the sense of the sort of magnificence and awe and peace almost. It was one of the best things I've ever done. I'm 44 years old and I've never done anything like it in my life. It was tremendous.
This was just epic. You could start to see the Vallée Blanche in the distance, you can see Mont Blanc up the valley, and the scale of it just became much more apparent.
It is almost like prehistoric times again. And you're just walking around on this land, and just over to the left of us you could hear all these rock falls and you could see them coming down, and we're just trying to find our way through.
That was probably one of the highlights of my trip. We ended up coming down further than we expected along the glacier and basically breaking trail across the glacier with crevasses down the side, and all roped up and watching the guide at work kind of finding the route.
This is real fun. This is the adventure. You're looking around, there's no one about. Just you, your friends, the mountains, that's it.
Made it!
Hello!
Made it!
Everyone alright? How are you doing?
Good!
Good.
Yeah, how was that, Tom?
Best day ever!
Crampons off.
That was incredible.
Yeah?
I really enjoyed every minute of it.
Even the hills.
Yeah? It was tremendous. That glacier, the crevasse walk was
epic, isn't it?
Epic. It was, I don't think I'll ever get to do anything like that.
Yeah. Cheers.
Did you notice a little? Who was that? Whose idea was that? Yes.
When we got back to the hut, we were all starving. And it was really nice, actually. It was my first time in a hut, actually getting some proper food. I don't know what I imagined, but we didn't expect like a 3-course dinner.
Actually, the food was terrific, exactly what you needed after a day in the mountains, and they were very, very generous hosts.
Like, things are changing or whatever. We've still not made any decisions yet, like for Mont Blanc, like, because a lot can change over tomorrow and the next. But I just want to put it also to you guys, you know, we are all a big team. Your options are kind of like in a sense of like, do we commit and go for Mont Blanc if we feel it's going to be work and going to be safe enough, knowing that there could be a chance that we can get to the tech routes hut. Maybe the weather's changed a little bit more whilst we've been there, and we're like, or just on the spot conditions in the Grand Cru, where you're like, things are not feeling good, we're turning around. Rather than risking that, do we go and get something else? You know, the Ice Meets over in Switzerland, or Gran Paradiso, you know, we've not done that, that's a really good fun mountain.
See what you guys say about the weather tomorrow.
Yeah.
And then it'll be easy for me to make a decision.
Yeah.
What's best for my film? And then you tell us.
To be honest, you guys happy? If you're able to do something that's awesome that you think has been a great experience to the top of something, then that's fine.
Well, whatever we do it together.
Yeah.
Do you want that again?
Could talk about it.
Do you want that again?
We're going to say Tom does it go.
My personal view is whatever we do it together. Did that work? Cut.
You know, my resting heart rate is normally like around 50. I was lying on a bunk for the first time and it went to 120. And I was like, oh my God. I knew altitude and this was going to affect straight away, you know. But it gets worse when you lie down for the first time.
Start again.
Rob, I need like a feather pillow.
Yes, I'll ask reception. Jim, do you need anything?
No.
Adrian, do you need anything?
No, like I say, look at that.
There we are.
Hotel Manister.
Oh my goodness.
Right here.
Dougal,
I've got breakfast from the
what
hotel.
have you got? Just in case. Oh wow, they had cookies this morning.
Let me just take my little pillow into this exceedingly large bag which you lot mocked me for.
Yeah, slept at least 10 minutes. It's interesting when you sleep and your heart rate is, whilst resting, is about 110. It takes a bit of time just to calm down to a nice calm, maybe 90. And that's about it. It's got to be him if you do crevasse training, he's got to go down.
I thought it was tomorrow, Jim. Birthday crevasse. No, it's today, 16th. It's 16th today, right?
On the itinerary, it's tomorrow.
It's on the itinerary, it's tomorrow.
It's on the...
It's not on the itinerary, it's not your birthday.
Today's the 16th, isn't it?
16th.
Yeah, it's definitely today.
Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear Jimothy. Happy birthday to you. Now to
Over the edge! Yeah, let's go and enjoy this beautiful weather.
Having your birthday up in the mountains is magical, is amazing. Having a bunch of guys that you've all become friends with that are all part of your birthday and celebrating it with you was just a really special feeling.
Day 3, most importantly, aka Jim's birthday, was Marbury time. So again, no visibility.
Do a nice little scramble. Actually, you could do a bit of walk across the glacier, do a little rock ridge in, practice moving on rocking crampons, and yeah, see what we find over there.
So Jim started to show off his sailing skills by thinking he could tie a knot and thought he'd practice on my harness, which I was glad the guy checked it, put it that way. But he actually did quite a good job.
Yeah, done.
Is that it?
Yeah, that's it.
Oh, we like that.
It's tied on.
Huh?
I can't believe what he's done to you.
Oh.
No, I'm joking. It's all good.
And then off you go again, you're all roped up. This time visibility is a bit poor.
Yeah, I think we got pretty good as a group glacier walking. So we did that pretty quickly and did that for the right routines, just going to get into the mode, walking with the rope, so not going too fast, too slow.
The boys are doing very well.
How's it going, Tom? Scrambling with crampons.
Yeah, it's a bit like climbing in roller skates. But
nice.
Yeah, good. This is
Ride.
Yeah, just.
How you find the crampons?
Different.
How are things going, Alex?
Yeah, we're doing all right actually. We're doing all right. The crampons are holding up pretty well.
They're not bad, are they? They're pretty spiky.
Never thought I'd be coming out anything like this in my life, to be honest. But,
Really? Awesome. That's good. Here we are at the Aiguille Marbre. We're fully committed. At this point, the summit lies just above us. One final crux awaits. Let's hope we have what it takes to surmount this final obstacle. Is that what it takes? We'll see. See on the other side.
Do you have what it takes? You've got what it takes.
Climbing the Marbre and getting to the top of it and sitting in a really kind of tight little bit at the top of a summit where there were like 4 of us just sat around having a snack. It was incredible to be that high and kind of look down around you and think what you just climbed up.
How did they do, Tom? We're going to have to discuss this later, really. Yeah.
He's giving us peanuts.
We had summited the ridge and were coming back down, and the guide said, do you fancy practicing some ice climbing skills? And really that was about getting confidence in the ropes, the harnesses, the safety and the guys that you're with. So what we did was we found a steep drop where if you fell down you'd fall all the way down to the bottom, and essentially threw ourselves off of it.
Hands in the air, Jim. It's all Dougal. All Dougal.
Oh, look at this. What are they?
That's for you.
Cheers. Oh, it's mountain freshness right now.
Around the back of here, that's the Marbres.
Oh, okay.
And that's where we went yesterday, around the back. Like came out to here yesterday, and that's where we started scrambling up the ridge. That's the tunnel.
Grand Paradiso is quite a long way away.
Yeah.
So at lunch we were told the odds were 50-50 for going up Mont Blanc.
Not great with the weather on Monday. There's a huge big dump of snow. I don't want to be going in there in the dark. So it's really tiring work, and it's only going to get more and more tiring as you get higher and higher. So there's a couple of different options, but then it's still this all comes back down to the whole crossing this Grand Couloir. Kind of 50-50. Maybe 4% chance of like success of getting across it.
Yeah, kind of when Ali was talking about it's 50-50, it's going to be quite good. I did get the impression he was starting to manage our expectation there, planting the seeds quite heavily.
And that really hit us for 6. We had the ambition of being a group that gets to the top of Mont Blanc.
The other part of it, I knew kind of a plan B might be Grand Paradiso.
All this is so new to me anyway. There's so many new experiences that even if in your minds you're thinking it's not as good to do it that way, in my mind I'm thinking it probably is quite good.
On Jim's birthday, Jim was uncontrollable. He was an animal, absolute animal. Never seen anything like it.
Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear Jim. Happy birthday to you.
We realised that to survive temperatures of -20, the kit that we had just wasn't going to be cutting it. So his strong advice was to go out and get new gloves.
You can use these as a pillow as well.
I got these.
You put your hand in these things.
I got these because they've got like the maximum warmth rating known to man.
Look at that, have you put these
Yeah,
on?
no, they're cool, aren't they?
Discomfort, oxygen, lacking of oxygen. Yeah. But good times, right? Let's go get pizza. Yeah, okay, everyone's happy.
How are we feeling?
Yeah.
Apprehensive, nervous, and excited. I think probably the things that are outside our control are probably the hardest thing to sort of figure out.
Yeah, we are in the lap of the mountain gods though. We've got to say our prayers to the mountains. Hope for good weather.
Anything you're excited about?
Well, anything I'm excited about? Yeah, I mean, if we get up Mont Blanc, that's going to be amazing. I mean, it's a hell of a long way to go in the meantime.
Try not to think about it too much. Is that a good way of mentally preparing?
So me asking you isn't good.
No.
No, you're thinking about it.
Yeah, I'm just gonna walk. Visualization. You're gonna see yourself at the peak.
How are you feeling about the Mont Blanc ascent, Jim?
Slightly nervous.
Nervous?
Yeah. A bit nervous about the altitude and the temperature.
Our kit's in front of us and we're all ready to get in the car and go. That's how far we were ready to go.
Yeah. So what do you want to do? Well, bad news. So, I spoke to Ali, so he's got mates that are currently up in the Tetrus and Goutier at the moment, and they're saying that the couloir is really active. So there's big slabs coming down of snow as well as loads of rockfall. So he's saying that he's got mates that are at Tetrus now and have decided just not to do it. And they turn around. He's got friends that are stuck at the Goutier because they can't get down the couloir at the moment, and they're worried about that. And he's just saying that as a guide, we're walking into a really shitty situation. And he said ultimately he's asked himself the question, would I ever got there as an experienced guide myself now? And he's like, no way. So he's called it.
That it was all off and there was no chance of Mont Blanc happening anymore.
You get this instant sort of air of disappointment. Everyone's quiet, everyone's sort of, you can feel everyone's processing it in their own head.
There's no point we sat here for the next half an hour.
I can't tell you that I'm actually generally
gutted.
Yeah, I mean, really.
Wind out yourselves, isn't it?
Oh, damn that's a massive shame, right?
Yeah.
How did you get that far out in the first place? You just got away, didn't you?
I was in the middle of it.
The couloir's pretty active. Got a mate who's just going, he's just arriving at the Tetrus just now and he's getting phone calls. They've just met people who've come back across and the couloir's just spitting loads of stones. I'm doing my job and saying we're not going, really, and saying it's just not sensible.
Once you get over that, you then think, right, well, what are we going to do? What's our next move?
Where we can go and climb something else. We're going to Grand Paradiso. If we went up today, I think we'd get up tomorrow. Okay. And I think if we went up on Tuesday, we'd get up on Wednesday.
The plan B was going to be going up Grand Paradiso, and that in a way was going to be even more challenging for me.
Oh no, sorry.
I can't stop thinking about breakfast. I have to start with breakfast. I had another amazing breakfast. And this time I actually was being able to be more strategic. So there was like about 4 or 5 main sections and I was able to plan my eating through each.
And got some foodiness, had a bit of a breakfast and drove for a couple of hours across to the Italian side. Now on the Italian side it was a completely different weather system, so it was beautiful, sunny, blue sky. It felt like it was somebody taking the lead off us. You know, the harness was off and we were kind of ready and raring to go.
So it was a warm day. It was a really warm day walking up there. We all just got dug in and started the climb.
Winding track through like all these pine trees with the sun coming through.
How are you doing, Jim?
Yeah, good man. How are you?
I'm filming Dougal, filming me, by the look of it. Yeah, so once we got the hut, we got up there quite quickly actually. This is the hut, Grand Paradiso. Hungover Adrian's made it up first. Here you go, that's what we've got tomorrow then. That's Grand Paradiso. Got one there, we're going up that left side of it.
Day 6 was my favourite day, and we had this afternoon at the hut, which we hadn't had before, where we could all just chill out at the hut. And we could see the mountain we're going to climb. The weather was beautiful. We had got over the disappointment of going up Mont Blanc, not going up Mont Blanc.
Found a pack of cards and I've got one magic trick and managed to seemingly find the 2 most gullible people on earth in our group who I think this day still haven't figured out what I did. All right, now I'm going to choose the 7 of spades. There you are, there's my 7 of spades, you go to hearts and 6.
It's so magical, Dougal.
Got it?
I can't actually see it though.
I don't think there was.
I'm a bit.
He
Can you
doesn't
do
do
it
it.
again, please?
This hut was my favourite. It was actually a stunning view, and we spent quite a lot of time sitting on the rocks, just admiring the view.
Looking forward to climbing it tomorrow.
Yeah, I think so. Getting up there would be amazing. Going to make the last 10 yards in a death-defying shimmy.
That's mind blowing. Look at it. I'm going to be at that. It's awesome.
After that, went back, got some food.
Yeah, 4:30 breakfast. I want to be out and off by 5 o'clock at the very latest. Oh, the terrain. So, like the first part is just like paths and scrambling up until we got to the glacier. Once we're on the glacier, the first part, it's a bit mixed baggy. It's kind of like, because it's the end of the season, all that kind of wintry snow is gone, so it's a bit drier at the bottom. The top part has got some nice snow in it from the storm we had yesterday. It's a little summit ridge. The first part, you just like scramble along the face, kind of like what we did on the first day. And then there's like a little ladder, you climb up that to get to the actual summit.
So summit day was another early start, but by this time we were really used to it.
Got everything you need, Rob?
Yeah. Summit day.
Oh, summit day it is.
Don't often get up at that time, but I felt surprisingly alert.
We just have to move across a bit.
We all had to kit up, put the crampons on, poles out.
So we started in the dark with our head torches on, and it was actually a really nice, mild morning.
And it was, it was actually, it was a pretty challenging kind of physical thing to do as well, because a long way to go, a lot of height to climb.
As the sun started to come up, the thing that blew us all away was how Mont Blanc was lit the first thing as the sun came up.
Indeed, all good.
Good. It's amazing. Look at that. Never done anything like it.
The size of the crevasses and just the size of the valley itself was just, it suddenly started to feel like a bit more of a challenge than I'd initially thought it would be.
It's a bit like, if you look at it from a distance, it probably looked like snakes and ladders, because you literally have to work your way around.
To start with, but it got cold very quickly towards the top. As we were going up the glacier, you could see the peak.
And so we headed off in a sideways direction, hoping to catch the other guys up. But actually what happened was we ended up getting stuck in all of these quite huge crevasses.
And keep going, but as you step over, you look down, you're like, ooh.
Climbing up that, then elements of doubt came in your mind because you suddenly realised you're at altitude and you hadn't really been at that height before.
You right there, Alex?
Personally, I found the altitude okay. The main thing that was a real barrier was the temperature. Even though the sun was coming up, it got incredibly cold very fast.
Eventually, when we get near to the summit, probably about 500 feet away, then it starts to get a little bit trickier.
A little bit. There's Mont Blanc. Just a little bit to go.
When we were coming up, we could see the clouds come in. And so when we got to the scramble to the summit, the winds came in and the clouds came in. Visibility dropped to zero.
And it felt very, 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 very serious at that point.
And then towards the end, we obviously had to do the ice wall. You got your cramps, and you have to really, you're literally just climbing up a wall of ice. Axe, kick, make sure it's in. and you kind of feel like you don't want to go the wrong way off because it's just a sheer drop.
But then you get this bit where you've got, I don't know, you've got about half a foot of kind of space to put your feet, and you've got to go across it. But I remember I've got the rope. There's a bit I can rely on the rope a little bit. And we went and we got through it. The wind blowing was made it even more fun.
And I distinctly remember being helped up by the other guys in getting to the top. That was a really emotional experience because the fear of heights kicked in and realising that everything we trained for was right in front of us.
Did it, guys? You did it. Well, mate. Woo! Oh, wow.
And when you got there, it didn't disappoint. The sheer drops down the side just added to the kind of like the theatre of seeing all these peaks and valleys around you.
I was so happy, so proud of what I've been able to do. We've got up the 4,000 metre peak, the highest mountain in Italy.
And just to pause for a moment and just kind of see what we've done.
We bonded as a team throughout the 3 months that we had been training together. And to get to that summit, it's just like a culmination of bringing all that together and sort of doing it as a team. And that sense of achievement is second to none.